as we say here in Okapi, one day, that means let's go. Jumbo, everyone!
Let everyone see you in 2 weeks.
My name is Robert. Real pleasure to meet you today. I am going to be your safari guide for this Kilimanjaro safaris. Now this is a photo safari. We brought along a camera. Excellent. To get the best pictures possible, don't drop your camera. If you do drop anything from this vehicle, unfortunately I won't be able to stop to retrieve any dropped items. There's no guarantee you'll get back anything you drop in one piece, if at all. Cameras and personal items really don't hold up too well against 5,000-pound white rhinos. Just saying, folks, use those camera straps. Be extra careful. You do want to use settings on your camera like sports, action, fast shutter speeds, basically something to capture motion. Automatic settings aren't going to work too well. You want something that will capture motion. I will be making some stops here and there for some photo opportunities. There are some places I can stop, animals I cannot stop for, but I am going to do my best to make sure that you get some great photos as we make our way around Harambe. Jumbo. All right. And if you take a look right above your head, you'll see the Wildlife Spotting Guide. That is a listing of all the animals that we have seen since 1971, the year we were established to protect and preserve these magnificent animals you're about to see on safari. All in total, we're helping about 70 different species all over Africa with conservation efforts. Just trying to find better ways to keep the animals safe, to help protect, preserve, conservation. Help protecting wildlife and wild places. That's the reason a reserve like this exists. And we do work together, lots of different conservation groups like Disney's Conservation Fund and Lewa Wildlife Conservancy Group. They're responsible for helping about 62,000 acres of land in Kenya, home to rhinos and other endangered species. Hopefully we'll see some of those rhinos today. That is our official sign you see on the right with our official emblem. That's officially in the shape of the sable antelope, unofficially our mascot. You see some of them out there, along with a lot more animals. We'll get that truck in front of us. Just got a little bit more time to enter the reserve. It looks like we're going to go ahead and start. Camera's ready, everyone. Animals can appear on either the right or left side of the vehicles. Sometimes you have to look a little closely. The camouflage on their bodies, the marking, and the fur colors can really blend them into their environment. As we pull forward, if you take a look over on the right side of the vehicle, at the top of the hill, you're going to see some Okapi. Okapi do look a little bit like a zebra, don't they? Not related to zebra, though. They're actually the only known living relative of the giraffe. Very shy and very good at hiding. They are so good at hiding, Western civilization did not learn of them until 1901. Before that, they are believed to be myths. Take a look over on your left. That is a black rhinoceros you see there. Black rhinos are huge animals. They weigh about 3,000 pounds, have very thick hides, can run up to speeds of about 35 miles an hour despite that weight. Practically indestructible except that they had some poachers. Fortunately, there's less than 5,000 of them remaining in the world. We're doing what we can to help that animal conservation efforts, trying to keep it safe. Over on your left, you're going to see a bongo. You can see those horns. Both male and female bongos have horns that are swept backwards. That allows the animal to run very swiftly and silently through thick forest. They don't have to worry about being entangled. They move so efficiently and are rarely seen. They've earned the nickname Ghost of the Forest. Different species of antelope there on the right. These are greater kudu. Greater kudu are the second largest forest antelope species you'll find in Africa. They weigh in at about 750 pounds, fully grown. Got another view of one here on the left. Oh, well, hello there. All right, everyone, we're going to make our way over this hill. On the other side is the Safi River. We're going to see if we can find some hippopotamus. Keep your eyes open here on the right. I think we'll get a view of some hippos as we make our way down the hillside. Take a look over on the right. More views of hippos there on the left. You can see there's quite a few of them. A bloat and hippos. That's what a group of them together is called. A bloat. Peakback pelicans, full-term mating season. That's when they nest together in large groups. They are colonial nesters. Now, hippos will spend most of their day in the water. They'll climb out of the river at night and walk about 6 miles or so, no further than 2 miles from a river. They look for a place to eat about 100 to 150 pounds of grasses in a single evening. Very hungry hippos. All right, everyone, we're going to make our way over this bridge. Let's all be careful. You do not want to get on the business end of those jaws. Make sure you take those seats, please. It's going to get a little bumpy. Folks, need you to sit down, please. Excuse me, back there, holding the camp corner. Yeah, thank you very much. It's just going to get a little bumpy. Let's not take any chances, folks. Those are some very powerful animals, 20 feet long of solid muscle, strong enough to drag down animals like zebras and wildebeest, almost without any effort at all. Those jaws can generate about 2,000 psi alone, pounds per square inches of pressure, more than enough force. Easily crush the bones of their prey. So whatever you do, don't trust a crocodile's smile one bit. Yeah, I wouldn't. They make me a little nervous. So we're going to continue along, everyone. We're going to make our way over to a completely different ecosystem. Baobab tree on the right. Baobab trees do look a little different. If you look real close, you'll understand why they're their nickname. The upside down tree. They take that appearance whenever they're in dormancy. They'll stay dormant up to 9 months out of the year, protecting themselves from drought by losing all their leaves and conserving moisture in their trunks. They can live to be thousands of years old. Whoa, whoa. Great view of the Serengeti here. It looks like it's a nice day. The Serengeti is like a giant superhighway of Africa. Migrating species will travel over the Serengeti to reach areas where food and water are more plentiful depending on the season of the year. I saw a lot of animals out there. We'll be making our way around, getting a good view of them. We'll get our first view of Ankole cattle here, and as we make our way around the curves, we should be able to drive right next to them. Animals like Ankole cattle help shape the Serengeti. It starts right above your head with the giraffes. Giraffes are pruning shears, nibbling away the leaves of the trees. Elephants will knock down trees to eat them. They're the bulldozers. So all that landscaping lets a lot of rain and sunlight make its way to the ground, and that causes the grass to grow. Antelope species come along next, double down the tall grasses like lawnmowers. Smaller species like warthogs will trim up the edges. So basically, in a balanced ecosystem, plenty of food for everyone. We do build a few man-made materials here and there on the reserve and structures. It's all to help keep the animals safe, happy, and healthy. Part of those conservation efforts you've been hearing me talk about. We do use natural landscape for the most part. Sometimes we just have to help the animals in other ways. For example, those chains on the ground we've been crossing over are called cattle guards. Animals don't walk on top of them because it makes them feel like they're on unsafe footing, so they'll tend to stay away from the chains. Useful for keeping animals out of areas where there's not enough room for the trucks in them, for example. Another example is actually all around us. You've probably seen those trees with the wire mesh around them. That's how we protect the trees from having their bark eaten. If an animal does eat off the bark, if it gets cold, it could potentially damage the tree. We want to keep the trees nice and healthy. So the animals have something to nibble on. Termite mound on your left, nice and tall. That's before an elephant visits and decides, hey, that'll make a great scratching post. The one on your right, after an elephant visit. Elves use them as scratching posts, wearing them down pretty good. Gives the antelope something to stand on top of to use as a lookout point. Now, the Okapi cattle you're seeing here, those horns are indeed massive. They're about 6 feet long, fully grown in, and 20 inches circumference at the base, but they're not entirely solid, though. So blood flows through those horns, disperses the excess body heat of the animal, and that keeps the animal nice and cool, regulating their body temperature. Let's see, I see a few giraffes just up ahead. Let's see if we can get some really good looks at them. Get a good view of some giraffes here. Actually, all the giraffes you see here are Maasai giraffes, have very jagged edge lacy patterns, including the baby giraffes. They're so cute, little giraffes. Giraffes will reach about 18 to 20 feet tall, fully grown, and 6 feet tall whenever they're first born. Tall enough, look, our grown man right now. They'll grow to be the tallest land animal in the world. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see if we get another view of the giraffes over here on the right. And one last view of the side giraffe. Well, yeah, it's a pretty good luck so far. I'm hoping as we continue along, we might catch a glimpse of some elephants. Banjo monkeys on the left. Largest monkey species in Africa. They weigh in at about 100 pounds fully grown. A gray fur lets them blend into a lot of different environments.
I'm going to tell you to sit down again.
They can be very tricky to find at times because of that gray fur. All right, take a look over on the right side of the vehicle. African elephant at the top of the hill there. Most likely that's a bull elephant. Those are the adult males. The bulls prefer to live a solitary lifestyle away from the rest of the other members of the herd. Road closed. See if we can get a closer look at some elephants. Now, if we continue along here, we might find some more watering holes. Find more watering holes, might find some more animals. Find some more animals, could find some more elephants. To make our way through the detour, though, but don't worry, I'm almost certain I might actually have no idea where it leads. See, right over this bridge. Nothing to worry about. Little bridge here. I am sure it's fine. I'm sure the duct tape and belly wire will keep it together nicely. See, a little bit of creaking and groaning, swaying back and forth, perfectly normal. The real trick, though, is to keep your balance. Right, the other right. Okay, See, nothing to worry about. Just keep leaning, and see, look at that. Half of you are safe already. I'll just get the rest of the wheels over, and it actually held together. See, tells you nothing to worry about. Had it all under control. That wasn't too bad, though, was it? Kind of fun, huh? Yeah? What did you think? Well, we're fine, folks, and hey, maybe we'll find some more elephants. Take a look on your left and right. Let's see where the elephants have been gouging out clay with their tusks. How they do that to get minerals in their diet that they need. Hoping as we continue along here, might catch a view of some more elephants. Yeah, it looks like we will. There's an elephant over there on the grass. It's not a great view, but there's some more elephants just in the valley here as we pull around. So let's see if we can get a good view of them. Tune in a little bit of elephant spotting music here on the radio. There we go. Let's see if we get a really good view of the herd just up ahead. I'm going to pause here in just a moment to give everyone a good view. I'm going to pull forward here just a little bit more. The closest elephant is over there in between the trees on the left. But we should be able to get some really good views. So we studied the elephants making their home here at Okapi, learning as much as we can about the animals, trying to find better ways of keeping them safe from the threats they face. Every little bit helps. Take a look over on your left, you're going to see some greater flamingo. Greater flamingo actually hatch curry. They eat a lot of brine, shrimp, and other aquatic creatures that are high in beta-carotene. That's what's responsible for that lovely pink color you see there, and it takes about 1.5 years of them eating that time for that color to show up. Sometimes you really are what you eat. Let's see if we get one more view of elephants in the distance here. Elephants are incredibly intelligent animals. They actually have their own language. The vocalization they make are too low for the human ear to perceive. Yes, they have their own language. Their vocalizations mean something. For example, elephants will come in contact with bees and they'll make a unique vocalization to warn other elephants that bees are nearby. Since they have very sensitive skin, elephants are actually terrified of bees. Now this is actually good to know because for a long time farmers were looking for a way of trying to keep elephants out of their farmlands. 14,000-pound animals making their way through crops and farms can be a really bad day for an elephant farmer. So researchers suggested put beehives around your crops. The elephants are afraid of bees. It'll keep the elephants away and it'll give farmers honey, an additional crop, and that worked out fairly well. That solution came from just studying the animals, finding out more about them and figuring out a better way of keeping them safe. So every little bit helps. Just keeping our eyes open. I think there might be some rhinos in the bushes to the right. Let's keep our eyes on the thickets as we make our way around, see if we get a good view of the animals. Don't forget to keep an eye open on your left there because you'll see 2 cheetahs, one on top of the rocks, one kind of resting behind the tree at the very top of the hill, just more to the upper left of that first cheetah on the rocks there, past the rocks. We're in luck. Cheetahs can be a little tricky to spot at times. Pun not intended. Spots of cheetah's fur do blend them in with so many different environments. Sometimes they can be a little tricky to spot. More cheetahs on the left. You can see them lying down on the ground. Don't let that fool you. Cheetahs are active most of the day, about 18 to 20 hours. They do nap. But they hunt during the day. Lions, however, Africa's other large cat, generally they're inactive during the day. They're inactive 18 to 20 hours. Usually they're asleep. Now sometimes we'll find them at copies like this. But lions, as I mentioned, usually are asleep. They'll hide in between the rocks, stay out of the sun, and out of the... they keep a low profile, so other animals won't see them. Sometimes be a little tricky to find them. Looks like we're going to get a view of some zebra and bonobok over on the right. You can see the bonobok there, little brown antlers with white markings. Bonobok, an incredibly rare species, hard to find outside of reserve and other species we're trying to help. Ostriches, we'll get another view of those animals as we make our way around on the other side of the Okapi here. I hope we can get a really close look for you. It's going to get a little bumpy here, folks. Let's all be safe as we make our way around. Warthog in its barrel to the left. Look very closely just over those fallen logs. You'll see the barrel carved into the hillside. Now, warthogs do dig out barrels in their hooves, tusk, and snout. Then they back into them face out where that wave of predator comes along. Let's say hello to those razor sharp tusks and their snout.